Hello and welcome to second Minmus mission, in which we will be going to Minmus and landing on Minmus because, well, I need more science points. You may have noticed this is actually before last or Saturday. The KSP extra video that came out recently. It's actually before that, so this craft actually goes through a lot of changes. If you're building along, I wouldn't, because this entire utility bay gets left, which was not a good idea because then I didn't have any of those science experiments and I ended up landing in a new biome. So I could have gotten lots more science, but I only had a science junior because I forgot to put the rest of the science on it. But we're doing these like side-mounted peripheral tanks because it will give us a wider base to land on, and I just think that's a good idea. So there's our little science junior. This craft, it took quite a while to make, so I probably could have sped this part up more, but I didn't because reasons. Um, Basically, this mission was meant to be a ghillie mission, but I couldn't seem to build a craft that could actually function. Yeah, I'm a genius. So this little tank there, that's specifically so I can put that payload fairing because it looks really stupid without the payload fairing. Let me tell you, the payload fairing in the end looks really stupid. So you know, so it's that mainsail engine. I'm gonna be putting two kind of side boosters because, well, A, I like the look of them. B, these kind of just help get us off the runway, or the launch pad. My English skills are great, by the way. Thanks for asking. This craft, it took a while, but, lots of stuff. What can I talk about? Um, I don't know. The video's currently uploading as I'm doing this commentary, but, yeah, great. I never end up putting those science experiments back, and I'm very sad about that. But whatever. We can always go back if we need to, but I don't think we will, because after I do a Duna mission, and then probably an Ike return mission, and I still need to do a Gilly mission. I'm also thinking about doing a couple missions to the Julian system, but yeah, it's that Minmus, well, Minmus is an interesting place. Here's a rocket lifting off. I'm so many episodes in the series now. I don't think I need to explain how these work. There you go, our side boosters. Those actually will crash down, and they will give us some science points. Not much, but that size. I think it's called the seismometer, the Grand Slam seismometer. That'll give us some points. Once again, I'm using visual packs because, well, why not? I'm not gonna actually put them in the description because they're probably going to change quite frequently, making all the information outdated. Anyway, um, this mission actually went pretty well, like the plan and stuff. I mean, we had, I think, around 1,000 meters per second of delta V left, which I end up using to help slow us down. But you know, it actually went pretty well. So we got a stage to circularize ourselves. We don't circularize entirely, I don't believe. I think there's still a little bit left. Maybe not. Maybe I'll have some space debris in orbit. Speaking of which, if you're planning to leave space debris in orbit, add a probe core, some electricity, and a relay satellite, and then you got yourself a little relay. It just helps. So, we're actually going to be splitting this burn up over multiple passes because, well, it just, it's nicer, it's more efficient that way, and, why not? So, we're at this stage actually has much more fuel than it needs. But right now, I'm going to create a Alt. If you press Alt F5, no, do not press Alt F4. In this, I did actually press Alt F4 instead of Alt F5. Don't be like me. Let's just say that. So you press Alt F4 or Alt F5. You can name the quick save, and that way you can load it later. Just useful. Useful tools. You'll see why. I actually think this is useful. I think because I actually burned the engine. Yeah, I actually re-entered the atmosphere, and I didn't want to have to deal with that whole can of worms, so I just load. And we just wait till we get to our maneuver node, keep pointing towards it, and then we can actually do it. See that little plate that converts the command pod size, the 2.5, to the smaller size? That piece is actually very good for storing your science experiments. You can just put them like underneath it, makes them all nice and neat. That's where I put them if I'm ever doing missions like this. So it's gonna end up being on my ghillie rockets because I'm gonna use the nuclear engine. It's more efficient, and somebody's messaging me on Discord. And with that out of the way, we're gonna continue our little slow warping over to, the right place. I don't know what to talk about. Let's have a look at I don't know. Is anything interesting happening? I don't know. Go go subscribe to people. I'm very boring. Um, it's I don't know. I think the Minecraft videos that me and Sky are doing are gonna do well because of our playful band. It's why people listen to podcasts. People don't listen to podcasts for fun. They always listen for the humorous banter. I guess I could always do like KSP gameplay in the background as I read like SCP files. There's an idea. I could read a very short SCP file. Well, why don't I quickly read SCP? What is it? SCP underscore 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 dash J. All right, this SCP it's very very complex, very very good SCP that oh looks like I'm getting spam emails. All right, here's the SCP. SCP underscore 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 dash J. Object class nothing. Special containment procedures. In a box in my office. Description. It's a rock that makes you procrastinate. Addendum. Probably mimetic or something. I'll finish writing this later. Dr. Vang. That's right, kids. We are now officially an SCP channel. Actually, that's an idea. Maybe for a very long mission, I could read what happened to Site 13. I think that's the longest SCP file on the wiki, if I remember correctly. I know SCP Redacted actually did that. Right now I'm trying to conserve Delta V. It ended up not really mattering. I'll end up getting into an elliptical orbit. Which, by the way, if you are landing on Minmus, don't worry about getting into elliptical orbit. Wanna know why? Because you're gonna having to lower your apoapsis anyway. So, whatever. Um, you know, let me have a look at all my videos here. I do believe there's one. They got copyright. Oh wait, no, none of them are. Wait, none of my videos have a copyright claim? Oh, it's because I can't go down far enough. It only lets me go down to Papers, Please, episode 3. Nah, it was Firewatch episode 1 that got copyright claimed. I don't know, I can't remember. My memory isn't that good, It's whatever. Anyway, oh, looks like we're landing. I'm not paying attention to the screen. Um, so we actually need to botch this landing site. Just because it was actually it was no different from my other landing site. Probably because we're on a hill is why my science experiments blew up. Going to a flat area would be better. I didn't want to go to the greater Minmus flats though because, we've already been there. So, I was in the right position to take off. We're just going to point retrograde. So you can land here. I'm actually going to end up using the reaction wheels. Let's see. Reaction wheels are very good for if you're landing on a rough surface. And we can see the nice blue fog that is provided by the Minmus. I actually don't know why there's that like blue fog. It might be dust or something. I don't think that's from Scatterer. I think that's Astronomer's Visual Pack. Because Matt Lalone uses Scatterer and Environmental Visual Enhancements, and I don't remember actually saying that. Which are the mods I use as well, but that's because Astronomer's Visual Pack has them as dependencies. This was not a good landing site. I ended up kind of like falling, as you can see right now, and then we end up just going. This is very jittery for me. It's very hard to commentate on what's going on. That's why I'm not, just talk about other things. Anyway, Jeb is completely useless after we got the screenshot. So we're gonna have Bob place down all the science experiments, Bill place down any of the technical stuff, just because it's because solar panels produce more electricity when they're placed down by an engineer, and science experiments give more science when they're placed down by a scientist, which I guess makes sense. In this case, Bob's pretty useless, and we're done with Bob. So now it's Bill's time to shine. We're gonna just place those pulveronic panels, the experiment control station, and the communitron. Nothing major. We only have a communitron there to communicate with Kerbin. I actually don't know how much survived. I didn't bother to look after this recording was done. But I completely forgot to take the data from that Science Junior, so I thought, it's probably a good idea that I do. Because we're not probably going to end up seeing that again. Yeah. I'm going to actually end up cutting after I get into a circular orbit and just pausing it so I can get my maneuver node correctly. It's very boring to watch people create maneuver nodes, so I just typically pause my recording while it's happening. Anyway, I kind of just burned for a little bit until I saw my apoapsis, which is through that little menu on top. You might see it. That's from Kerbal Engineer Reduct. I'd recommend it if you're gonna play Kerbal Space Program. Get it. It's a good mod. Uh, yeah, it's we're going to get that maneuver node. This maneuver node never ends up being used. Fun fact: you actually go fire if you want to get to Kerbin the most efficient way. You actually want to fire backwards along Minmus's orbit. And I've actually had it where I've created a maneuver node, I've done it to get back to Kerbin, but it ends up actually going through Minmus, so it doesn't actually end up working. Basically, you need to fire backwards along. So, I couldn't be bothered to actually commentate over this. I'm just gonna do it live. So basically what happened was, for some reason, there's no recording of me actually getting home. So that's what I'm doing now. I just hyper-edited in the craft into low Minmus orbit. There's a lot of bugs that are currently going on. It probably wasn't the greatest idea. Oh, gotta start a burn. As you can see, this is one of them. Can't get close to it, but you know what? Whatever. As long as I can get footage of me going home, that's all that matters. As long as we land, everybody's safe. I'm gonna try to land with as much of this thing as possible, so I'm just gonna burn full until we can get out of the atmosphere and slow down sufficiently. Would that give us a mod encounter? I don't think that would give us a mod encounter anyway. I can't ramble about anything though, because everything I'm doing is live. Anyway, periapsis height I gotta watch. It's my periap. Okay. Gotta watch my periapsis height now. I want it about 35 kilometers, a little under. Right there should be good enough. Alright, now we point retrograde. Quick save. There's a whole lot of bugs. Hopefully this won't be one of them. Anyway. Just got time warp out. There's a little physics. Is that? Oh, that did fix that bug. So it must just be physics render trying its best. Yeah, to be clear, this is not a legitimate mission at this point. I had to paper it in. I just want footage of me landing. Gotta finish the video. I'm not actually sure why there's not footage of me landing this craft, but it's whatever. Back in contact with KSC. And there we go. That's, yeah, there's a bit of debris in space. I can just terminate the flight. This is that simple. Well, hold on. That orbit looks like it's going to decay eventually. So I couldn't be bothered, you know? Then I can stitch this clip in, hopefully, it'll probably mess up the commentary. If the commentary is messed up, I apologize. That's all I know, I don't. As you can see, we are going extremely fast right now. So we're gonna quick save, and I'm going to attempt to slow us down as much as I can using engine burning, since, well, since this is a hybrid edit in Craft, you know, it's not a whole lot. And, you know. Alright, we are now in the atmosphere. Pointing retrograde relative to the surface. And burn. I don't know, would these landing lights provide more drag? Possibly. Let's deploy them. Do I have monopropellant? No, I do not. So we no longer have an engine. A lot of stuff exploding. Oh, I still do it. Oh no, it's... Oh no, we've separated. Ugh. I don't know, we might get a bit of science. Let's do it. Nothing. Yeah, at least we got some fireworks out of it. Oh dear God. Yeah, that's my camera spazzing out. Is it B? B. Nope, chase, lock, auto, free, there we go. Jeez, I am sorry about that. Are we gonna slow down enough? I have a feeling we might not slow down enough. Oh, guess we will. Let's activate our parachutes. So those drogue chutes need to deploy as soon as they can. And, alright, looks like we're gonna be good. I can't tell where we're landing, it's too dark. Oh, looks like we're landing on the ground. Been inaccurate, since I don't have retro rockets. Deploy that heat shield. No point in having unnecessary weight, right? Now there was a little bug, and I want to see if that's still a bug. Okay, quick saved. And hopefully that's going to be then fixed when I recover this vessel. It might not be, and this save might be completely wrecked. In which case that would really suck. In which case I would probably, I actually don't know what I'd do. I'd try to fix it, I guess. Probably caused by something with hyperedit. I want to get my Kerbal out for a nice screenshot in the EVA screen, but I guess that won't happen. So, did we land? I forget. I actually, the heat shield survived. I actually don't even remember. Yeah, no, we landed, and then we got into low Minmus orbit. Whatever. This is all in real time. No science. A bit of science. I don't think that's anything. Yeah, we got the advance from the thing. This is probably what I'm going for next. The ion propulsion, and then either the ion propulsion or the automation. Probably the ion propulsion, because for... Actually, no, probably the automation. Anyway, next mission's gonna be probe. I will see you later, and goodbye.